Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or otherwise, you can look me up at my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal. This one here is the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem has held a summit, an emergency summit to combat global anti-Semitism and alert pastors. Jerusalem, Israel. The International Christian Embassy Jerusalem has convened an emergency summit this week to address the crisis of anti-Semitism and awaken churches worldwide to the unprecedented hate campaign against Israel and the Jewish people. The summit is also addressing replacement theology in churches and confronting the fear pastors face from intimidation in countries across every continent. We spoke with the International Christian Embassy President Jürgen Bühler about how they're addressing the critical issues facing the church. The text of the extended interview is below. Chris Mitchell. I'm here with the President of the ICEJ International Christian Embassy Jerusalem, Jürgen Bühler. Jürgen, it's great to be with you. We're here from the Jerusalem Summit, but it's not just a Jerusalem Summit. You're calling it an emergency Jerusalem Summit. Why? Jürgen Bühler. Well, Chris, thank you so much. It's always good to be with you. The reason why we called it an emergency summit is because I believe that we are living in a time where Israel is under threat. The Jewish people around the world are under threat like never before. We see anti-Semitism rising after October 7th in numbers that are unprecedented. I think in the United States there is a 200% increase. If you look at anti-Semitism in colleges or universities, it grew 500%. If you go to Europe, almost every country in Europe, anti-Semitic acts and violence against the Jews are up 200 to 500%. That's incredible, unheard of, and we feel it's a time where the church needs to wake up. The sad thing about all that is that many churches around the world, they don't have to say anything about that. They don't even know what to say when it comes to Israel or the Jewish people. And this emergency summit is here to help pastors around the world to get the tools to stand up on a Sunday morning on their pulpits to address anti-Semitism, to address questions like replacement theology, and to inform their churches in an intelligent way. Chris Mitchell, would you compare what's happening now to what people say might have been in Germany in the 1930s? Is it similar, Chris? That's an excellent question because I once was told for many years, oh, we're living in times comparable to what happened in Germany. Jürgen Bühler. And I always said, well, this was really an extreme time. I wouldn't compare it. But today, absolutely. I think we are living in times. We see churches. We had a conference in Ireland the other day. It was closed down in 2 venues because pastors got too scared because of the threats they received. Pastors are feeling the pastors are telling us they don't dare to speak about Israel anymore from the pulpit because they are afraid of the ramifications. And we really see there is, number one, the threat level very similar to how it was then. Jürgen Bühler. And also the response of the churches in many places, not everywhere, but in many places similar to how it was in Germany back then in the years leading up to Hitler. Chris Mitchell, was the church in Germany at the time asleep? Jürgen Bühler, it was, I think, asleep. It was not knowledgeable about God's purpose with the Jewish people, as they didn't have the tools in their hands to respond properly. And of course, it's also many of them. They just lacked courage because there was a consequence to pay or a price to pay standing up for the Jewish people. Chris Mitchell, yeah, what are the tools that you want to bring to the church through this conference, this summit? Well, through this summit, we are addressing three major areas. Jürgen Buehler. We address number one, global anti-Semitism. We will inform what is happening, what is proper theology to address that, why Christians should stand with the Jewish people, defend them. Number two, we are speaking about new waves or new types of replacement theology. There is a doctrine that is spreading like cancer almost. You can say it's called the New Pauline perspective. It is in itself very helpful to educate you on the Jewish character of Yeshua, Jesus, Jürgen Buehler. But when it comes to the Jewish people today, it actually fails completely. It says their church replaced Israel. It's all over the world. You hear about it. We want to address that. And thirdly, we are living in we're living still in the 1700s. We are living in the Second World anniversary of the Nicene Council 1700 years ago. Church fathers in Turkey met together. It was the second ecumenical council after the book of Acts chapter 15. And if you think about it, in Acts chapter 15, the church widely opened the doors to the Gentile Christians. They said, you're welcome to join us. You don't need to be circumcised. You don't need to eat kosher. We just want you to believe in Yeshua. And so far, 250 years later, they shut the door for the Jewish people. They said, if you want to join the church, stop keeping Shabbat. Stop keeping Passover. You need to stick to our holidays. You need to stop being Jewish. And then you can join the Christian church. So it was opening a gap between Judaism and Christianity, lasting until today. Chris Mitchell, Jürgen Buehler, thanks for the summit and what you're doing. We appreciate it very much. This will be a great tool for the church to be reminded about how when we come to faith in Yeshua Jesus, we are grafted in to the olive tree of Israel. And Paul says in Romans, do not think that you're better than the Jews, because it's not you who supports the root, it's the root that supports you. Israel is the root to our Messiah. We are the grafted in vines. And Paul also said if some of them branches were broken off and you being a wild olive were grafted in among them, do not think that you're better because you're one of the branches, because it's not you who supports the root. It's the root that supports you. This is the story of Romans, about how fellow Christians become partakers of the rich root of the olive tree. Israel gave us the prophets, the Bible, the Ten Commandments, the things we live by today. And Gentiles are meant to carry the Jews on our shoulders and bring them into the faith, because they will look at us and see God's good work within us and want to join and be partakers of God's kingdom. Shalom, Maranatha.